All right, guys, time to go home. We love you. We'll see you next week here at Jerk of All Trades podcast.
Whoa. Hold on, Eddie.
What's up?
Is there something going on with the tech billionaires? Are you trying to escape the Matrix? Does time space not exist in your world? Because
no. Yeah, it's time to go home.
I believe this is the beginning of the podcast.
Oh, shit.
This is
My
not
bad.
the end of the podcast.
Well, if that's the case, it's time to go to work. Jerk of All Trades podcast.
There we go.
Episode number 12. What's up, guys? What's up, Ray?
We are back in the saddle again.
My bad.
Despite what Eddie may have been confused on, this is not the end of the show. This is the beginning of the show. And what an amazing fucking show we have lined up for you today. Yeah. Eddie hit him with a couple of teasers of some shit we're talking about.
We are stacked all day, every day. We got Papa John's delivering you some white powder.
Oh yeah.
We got Walmart looking like the Titanic's got a couple leaks in the system there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
And poor Walmart, all those billions of dollars, and all of a sudden they're starting to show a little weakness. And we got some shopping malls going extinct, like the Triceratops Rex. And some cable providers starting to wet their pants a little bit over their numbers going down. So
we got chat programs that you talk to when you're depressed.
Oh yeah, the chat box.
We've got in Latin America they want to reawaken the dead.
That's pretty crazy.
And we've got some more hot button issues. We're going to talk about Bill Maher. And absolutely stacked show. Episode 12, Jerk of All Trades podcast. We're back. We're better than fucking ever. So yeah, with that being said, let's fucking do it. And as Eddie says, let's go to work. So,
yes, sir.
Hot topic of the week, motherfucking Bill Maher. Eddie, you wanna hit give him a little? I'm sure they probably heard it unless they're living under a rock. Oh, of course,
yeah. Bill Maher,
tell a little bit about it.
He's got that show, Politically Something. I'm not the biggest fan of the world of it.
I believe he actually had that show like decades and decades ago. Real Time with Bill Maher is a show he's had.
He's got a new show.
Apparently, this show has existed for 15 fucking years. 15 years, and I'm really, really perplexed by that. I did not realize this show has been around for so long. So
yeah, well, I guess he was interviewing a Nebraska Senator, Ben Sasse, used the N-word, the ER N-word.
Yeah, didn't even filter what. Tell him what he said. I'm gonna let Eddie do the quote because Eddie is half black and I'm not black at all. So
yeah, I'll only take half an ass whooping for this one.
Yes. No, maybe you'll filter it.
Yeah, Maher was interviewing Senator Sasse, and
who's white, by the way, too.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
There was not a black person to be seen on this stage. Maybe there were some black people in the crowd. Definitely not on the stage. Bill Maher.
So yeah, Sasse must have been working him over on coming to Nebraska, and Maher, which replies, "I've got to get to Nebraska more." And Sasse said, "Well, you're welcome. We'd love to have you. I'd love to have you work in the fields with us." To which Maher said, "Work in the fields? Senator, I'm a house nigga. No, it's a joke." And like I said before,
I can imagine groans.
He said and not
Yeah, there was probably many a groan in that crowd. That was definitely not a very
sure what he was thinking.
Not a good joke.
Obviously it just came off the cuff. That couldn't have been something that he had planned.
Yeah, that was definitely not pre-written.
HBO's denouncing the remark as completely inexcusable and tasteless.
Of course they are. Can you imagine HBO coming out and being like,
"Hell yeah,
hey, we thought it was fucking funny, dude.
He ain't no house nigga."
What did you think Bill Maher was? He's a fucking multi-millionaire. He's had Real Time with Bill Maher for 15 fucking years. He's definitely not toiling in any fields. I think we can agree with that. So
yeah, I mean, clearly he's detached from reality a little bit here. Once you start making all this money, you kind of like, it's like these rich people. It's like they can't even tie their own shoes, and like they don't understand like the simplest things can trigger people. And I don't know if Bill Maher says that shit a lot in his own personal time, But if he does, it's this is a reality check, and it's time to shape up.
Yeah, it's not time to go to work. It's time to maybe not go to work.
Not for Bill Maher.
Bill Maher actually is coming back to the show tonight for another episode. I can't even imagine how many episodes this fucking show there are. I can say that I was actually I was a fan of Politically Incorrect back in the day. I used to watch it pretty regularly. I was a fan of Bill Maher. I watched his stand up. Religulous, I thought, was a very entertaining movie, even though it was a bit skewed. So yeah, I've been a fan of his for a while, but this is not the first time that he's said something that's been pretty divisive like this. Actually, after the 9/11 attacks on Politically Incorrect, he actually was talking about the 9/11 hijackers. He said, "We have been the cowards lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away. That's cowardly. Staying in an airplane when it hits the building, say what you want about it. It's not cowardly." So obviously that didn't go over very well. That was probably pretty bad timing for that. I'm not going to give my opinion on the joke. I actually think that there's an interesting thought process to it, but I think when we were 6 days out of 9/11, that probably wasn't the best time to say it.
Nah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think that, I talked about last week with Kathy Griffin, and obviously Eddie disagreed. I don't think Kathy Griffin's funny. I do actually think Bill Maher is funny sometimes, or at least he used to be. I don't really keep up with him these days, aside from this. But, I mean, it's First Amendment. It's freedom of speech. It's freedom of expression. So I think that he's allowed to say these type of things, but at the same time, there's going to be backlash when you make a joke like this. And, yeah, that was pretty politically incorrect. There's no other fucking way around that. So,
yeah. So people have the right to, abandon his show, even if they were even watching to begin with.
I mean, he's been out for 15 years, so I imagine that some people are watching it, right?
I'm assuming so. I didn't see the movie. I never really seen his show. I never seen his stand-up.
Religulous is worth watching. It's worth watching.
I remember you telling me about it. So maybe I'll, you know what? Fuck it. It's too late. Sorry, Bill Maher. You lost me.
Missed the boat.
You never had me, and then now you definitely don't got me. So we'll catch you around town.
Yeah.
So, is that all you got to say about that one? Or
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'm not going to crucify him too much over it. There is a situation. If Bill Maher was black, this could have actually been funny. Like, I have an uncle, on my dad's side. He's a mechanic. And I also have a cousin that's fucking gay. Like, flamboyantly gay.
He's fucking gay. He's fucking gay.
Yeah. When you see this motherfucker, you say, motherfucker's gay. He's gay. So...
not that there's anything wrong with that. Good for him. Live his life.
If we're working on the car and a homie comes up and my uncle's like, "Hey, you want to come work on the car with us?" And he's like, "You kidding me? I'm a house nigga." That's kind of funny because the motherfucker doesn't know shit about working on cars. It's a relevant joke. And when you're black, you can say it. You can get away with it.
Right, exactly.
There's ownage to the word. But Bill Maher, being a rich millionaire, white guy, in the context of how he said this,
doesn't work.
Doesn't have any ownage of the word.
No.
So you got to leave it alone. Can't touch it. And if you want,
like MC fucking Hammer, you can't touch this, Bill Maher. Leave the jokes alone. I don't believe Hammer was throwing N-words out in his music back in the day either. So
nah,
I think Hammer was actually probably only like maybe 2% more black than Bill Maher. So
yeah,
is that accurate?
Yeah, well, I got a new rule with all this shit.
What's that?
Any stupid comedian or celebrity making politically insensitive remarks from now on to the masses, they got to go 3 rounds with a UFC fighter. I'm done with this shit. Anytime you say some stupid shit, you and a UFC fighter throwing down and you're getting your ass whooped. That's my style of
most likely
dealing with this shit.
You don't know. Bill Maher might be a fucking badass.
Dude, they could put Bill Maher with the smallest chick MMA fighter, and he's getting tapped the fuck out in seconds, numerous times.
Probably.
So, with that said, UFC 212 was live last weekend.
Give us the fucking
Rio de Janeiro,
recap,
Brazil. I was 2 for 2 in my breakdown of my picks. In the main event, Max Holloway defeated Jose Aldo. If I had bigger balls and the Eric Silva pick didn't go against me, didn't get burned by that Eric Silva pick, most likely would have picked Max Holloway here, but I didn't. He won by a 3rd-round TKO. He's now the undisputed featherweight champion of the UFC. Great job, Max. He took a little ass whooping in that first round, but he was able to make it out of there. And by the end of the 2nd round, Max found his swag. He was getting that swagger, and fucking by the time 3rd round came, Jose Aldo, a little bit slowing down. That's Jose Aldo's game. He comes out hot and he slows down. Max Holloway was able to put it on him, hit him with the 1-2, 1-2, straight left, straight right, straight left, straight right.
That's a lot of straight. That's a lot of straight punches.
This is how I called in the podcast. I said Holloway had the better straight punches, and it came to fruition here. So big up to Max Holloway. Big up to Hawaii doing the damn thing. We're proud of you here. We've been watching you for a long time and hoping Mr. Dana White recognizes the game here and gives Max his rematch with Conor McGregor, because this is a stand-up fight. Like I was telling you before the fight, this was all stand-up. There was no submissions or wrestling or takedowns or anything. This was all straight stand-up. Max Holloway and Conor McGregor would be some straight stand-up. I think it would be a savage fight. I think it has Fight of the Year written all over it. Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm telling you right now.
I heard savage.
My dick gets so fucking hard for this fight. It's not even funny.
You might need to bring your chair down a little bit. You're underneath the table there.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time seeing my tablet right now because my dick's in the way.
We don't want to repeat of last week. And so, that was my foot, I swear.
Yeah, Jose Aldo was the king of the featherweights for a long time, and damn it, man. Didn't throw too many leg kicks like I was expecting, but I don't know what the game plan was or if he was injured or whatnot, but Max Holloway had the opportunity, seized it, and now he's the champ. So do the damn thing. Co-main event, Claudia Gadelha defeated Karolina Kowalkiewicz in the first round via submission. Not too much to say
You
here.
nailed it again, dude. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, Claudia, she took advantage of Karolina, took her down pretty quick after she was done with standing up with her, got her back and submitted her relatively easily. Karolina's got some more work to do on the ground with submission defense and maybe some takedown defense as well there. But with the women, they're never out of it. Karolina will be back, and Claudia most likely will be fighting your girl Joanna Jędrzejczyk, probably end of the year, maybe, if I had to guess. End of the year or early next year, let's say. And then the Brazilian legend Vitor Belfort defeated Nate Marquardt. Close fight, unanimous decision for Vitor. Not too much of a surprise being that it was in Brazil. Anything close is going to the Brazilians. Could have scored it either way. I don't really remember how I scored it, but I leaned Vitor for the decision. I think the judges got it right here. And then another good fight from this card was Yancy Medeiros against Eric Silva. Medeiros actually with the upset pick here, defeating Eric Silva, second round TKO, kind of an early stoppage. The referee kind of jumped in there a little quick, especially when you compare it to how the referee let the fight go on with the Jose Aldo Max Holloway fight. But Yancy Medeiros, man, was able to weather the storm and came back in that second round when Eric Silva was slowing down. Something about these Brazilians and slowing down in the second round, man. Third round, it's crazy. But big ups to Yancy Medeiros, man. It was a close fight. I got it wrong, but he proved me wrong. He did the damn thing. Big night for Hawaiian MMA. They're looking at maybe doing a UFC Hawaii. If they can get Conor on that UFC Hawaii, that'd be the shit, but probably not.
Not to be confused with Baywatch Hawaii.
Yeah, no way.
Like that show a lot. Against the better judgment of every single TV show watcher of all time.
Baywatch.
Okay, let's not talk about Baywatch. The Rock actually that didn't go all that swimmingly.
Oh no,
was fitting for The Rock.
The box office didn't get lit on fire.
No, that was actually a tragic failure for The Rock. Despite what,
I'm sure he got paid.
I'll tell you what, Dwayne. We know your game. We know what's up. We'll just throw it out there. We know. That's it. Okay. Continuing on.
Did they use the original theme music for the movie?
I don't know. I did not see the movie.
Some people stand in the darkness,
afraid to step into the light. I'll tell you what, real quick.
Do it.
So my dad is just an absolutely humongous bad television show fan, and probably his favorite show of all time is Baywatch. And so my dad was living with me for a couple of years here, and he moved out kind of recently. But I can't tell you how much enjoyment I got. My dad would play his television pretty fucking loud, and I would just hear the Baywatch theme coming out of my dad's fucking bedroom, and I knew my dad was just gonna have an amazing fucking night. And I would be jealous of my dad because I don't know if I've ever enjoyed anything in life as much as my dad enjoys bad television shows. So my dad would get super pumped. I remember one time he was just like literally screaming at the top of his lungs. I was actually worried for his safety. I knocked on his door and I went into his room, and apparently my dad was cheering on Mitch as Mitch was battling against an electric eel, and he was telling me in detail. Apparently Mitch jumped on its back and was like punching this eel in the back of the eel head. So I never saw that episode, and one day I will actually watch it. But yeah, Baywatch. My dad absolutely loves it. So
Man, he was marking out, huh?
I'm sure at a future date I'll
get
talk
him,
about,
Mitch. Get
come
him,
on, Mitch. Come on. Yeah, my dad actually once told me that he was like, so you know, I think we all have some like heroes in life. Like, you know, I think the Dalai Lama is like a hero of mine. You know, Carl Jung is a hero of mine. And my dad's hero is actually, it's not even David Hasselhoff. It's actually just David Hasselhoff from his TV shows.
It's just Mitch.
Right. Not even just Mitch, though. Like, it's like David Hasselhoff from like Knight Rider, too. He's like, he's so cool. And, you know, he gets all the ladies and he drives a cool car and he drives a boat and like, he runs down the beach in slow motion.
Well, it'd be a boring show if he didn't get all the ladies.
Yeah, so anyway, my dad loved, his hero in life is David Hasselhoff's characters from TV shows. So, yeah, there's a little tidbit of my dad, and I'm sure...
Is your dad a big fan of potatoes?
You know what? I think my dad will eat pretty much anything you put in front of him, and if he really likes it, he'll eat seconds. And I think if you put a potato in front of him, he'd probably have seconds. So, yeah, well... transition of the fucking
millennium. Let me just say one thing. I know Ray's dad. I've known him for a long time. You have to see it in person, but it doesn't do justice on the podcast. No. It is so hilarious.
If you knew my dad is basically...
How into these shows that his dad gets. You can hear him throughout the whole fucking house.
My
it's
dad,
just so fucking funny.
I have so many my dad stories that I will definitely tell. I will write them down, and I may actually write a book.
And don't interrupt him during his show, or else he'll try to kick your fucking ass.
He will definitely whoop your ass. My dad is basically the definition of a character. No one can meet my dad and not say my dad is a character. So he's a lovable guy.
Oh hell yeah.
He can be a little tough to deal with, but yeah.
In the end, it's all fun. Yes. It's all love.
Yeah. So transition. Let's talk about the Universal call out from last week. So
yeah,
we've got another week of Universal call out, and you know this whole subject on the show kind of happened out of nowhere. You know, we had some monkey stories that we were calling for, and then we had some monkey stories that came out that were kind of shitty, and eventually we got cool monkey story, and so we kind of turned it on into a little thing on the show, and then we had last week was Buddhism. We had some fun topics. The week before we had people getting beat the fucking death by baseball bats.
Yeah. That was don't forget about the robots.
We
started talking about robots, and the next week there was a robot Terminator.
Robots, and there was blowjob robots.
And a blowjob.
R.I.P. blowjob robot. But,
yeah, that's
last week we didn't have the best topics to pick from, but we both chose potatoes. And
right now we're at the point where we can just fuck with it.
We
right?
really can.
I mean,
I think this week we picked the shittiest subject.
Yeah,
and then let's see what happens.
The whole objective now is to not have any cool stories because it's just been so easy for us now.
Yes. So we had potatoes, and I'll tell you what. So the crazy fucking thing is, basically how I find the stories. You know, if they don't happen upon me, I just kind of I write whatever this particular thing is in the news. So like I thought it was hilarious that I had to write potato in the news, which apparently there's like multiple websites that are dedicated to just like all the newest potato happenings, and apparently it's probably more for like potato farmers and stuff, which we're definitely not that, but we had a couple of really fun stories that I wanted to talk about. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up before I do this is Eddie had sent me a potato story, and he titled it, and he wrote potato, he wrote Potatoe, and
that's how I spell it.
and I couldn't help but laugh and then respond to him. And I basically brought up the Dan Quayle thing, but I didn't really kind of fully spell it out. And Eddie was confused on that. And so then I had to send him a whole article about Dan Quayle and how his entire vice presidency was basically defined by the fact that he didn't know how to spell potato. And not only that, he scolded a child on it. So
only in America.
Only in America. So anyway, first story we had, there was a gun-wielding bandit that was sought in a potato chip robbery. So
a potato chip robbery?
There was a potato chip robbery. It happened in San Francisco.
Oh, man.
Apparently there was a guy that made off with several cans of potato chips. So, I mean, we know what that is. He wasn't getting fucking Lay's stacks. He was getting goddamn Pringles. They don't want to name it, but...
he was maxing those Pringles.
I can't imagine what would happen with that, but I guess he whipped out a firearm. He demanded the cashier fork over the Pringles. I would speculate what kind of Pringles he got. I mean, you got to get fucking barbecue Pringles.
For sure, sour cream and onion and barbecue.
Barbecue's got to be top.
Actually, for Pringles, give me some original.
If you got like fucking, they have some weird flavors now. Don't get the fucking
weird.
Like
I don't play with that
cinnamon
shit.
Fucking like what the nobody fucking eats that shit.
On a Pringle.
Yeah, that's a thing. They have some weird ass Pringles out there.
Hell
so that's story number one.
Was that number one from the end of our podcast last week?
So yeah, we actually had literally. When the podcast ended, the next day I looked up potato in the news and I saw
that was the first fucking story.
It was from like 19 hours ago, which was basically literally like right after.
Exact same time that we did the universal call
So
out.
like literally the universe like dropped this topic immediately as we said something. So, and then in looking into this, I thought it was hilarious that apparently not 2 weeks ago, there was actually a man who used a potato chip bag in a robbery attempt. So
oh, jeez.
there was a guy who robbed a car wash in Northern California with an empty potato chip bag and supposedly had a handgun. And
that had to have been Lay's.
And then
it had to have been Lay's.
He probably wasn't if it was a Pringle can, he would have never got his fucking hand out. No one would have believed that. Like, I have a real tiny gun in here, trust me.
Yeah.
Then he has to like have the cashier like pull the Pringles can off of him. Like, she just thinks he's like trying to get those last couple Pringles out. He's
like,
there.
you're lying. It's a knife in that Pringles can. That ain't no gun. So, you don't scare me.
The man gestured the weapon was in the empty bag. The cashier saw it only held a piece of cardboard, and she called a coworker for help. Oh my god.
Oh man.
She didn't even call the police. She just called like fucking Johnny that fucking like works in the back fucking scrubbing like wheels. Like, hey Johnny, can you come out here? This guy's got a piece of cardboard inside of a fucking Lay's bag and he's trying to rob me. And then apparently the suspect fled on foot. Of course, he didn't have a car, but so anyway, yeah, that's that story. And then we had another fun story. We had there's apparently this is happening in Australia. There's this existing basically quota of the amount of potatoes that you can grow there. It exists since the 1940s. And there's this guy, he's named the Spud King, and apparently he exceeded the potato quota, and so he's being sued by the largest he is the largest potato grower.
He didn't get that nickname by accident.
But he was sued by the Potato Marketing Corporation for exceeding his potato quota. So
damn.
Yeah, just a fucking ridiculous universe. I mean, thank you once again. You're just giving us so much.
They knocked it out of the park again. Alien overlords. We thank you.
You know what? Let's not talk about knocking out of the park.
Oh wait, we're not even finished.
That gets too close to the baseball thing. And
going back to the Dan Quayle thing. Me and Ray would keep in contact pretty frequently during the week. And I was working on the podcast, I think it was Sunday night or Monday night. And I was sending Ray an email. And as I look up to the TV that I hadn't been paying attention to for roughly the last 2 hours or 3 hours, the women's college World Series was on, NCAA Softball World Series. It was in I believe, the bottom of the 14th inning. And there was a member of the Florida Gators holding up, wait for it.
Waiting.
A rally potato. A fucking potato in her hand, waving it like it's a fucking...
Wave that potato in the air like you just don't care.
Yeah, like it's the second coming or something. And I just couldn't believe it. I was just like, Ray, you're not going to believe this. I just looked up at my TV and this chick is holding up a rally potato. Give me a break. What's going on here?
You have to laugh. You have to laugh at the universe. It just throws this shit at you in the most just absolutely absurd ways.
Oh my God.
Thank you for the potato stories. This week we're going to really buckle down. We're really going to fuck with you, universe. Get ready.
Eddie wins the lottery. It's got to happen now.
You fuck with us, we'll fuck with you.
Come on, randomizer.
All right.
We love you.
So, yeah. So we talked about potatoes at length, but I've got a middle finger lined up for fruit and not a vegetable. So let's do the middle finger of the week. And this week, I'm going to stick it to, believe it or not, apple.
Ooh.
I'm going to stick it to apple. So,
hey, how are you going to stick it to that apple?
I'm gonna put a hole right in that motherfucking core.
Put a hole in it.
I'm going to put a hole right in that goddamn core. But, so let's start with, I've talked about it before. I've been a huge Apple fan for quite a long time. I've had iMacs for, well more than a decade now, decade and a half probably.
Yeah.
I've had every generation of iPhone since the 3. I'm not a fanboy, but I do like what Apple creates. I think it's slick. It's easy to use. There's, except for the iPhone, there's a lot of customability to that.
They have a good reputation.
They have a good reputation. They create, what I think is a quality product in overseas factories where people can't go on breaks and can't get days off, and they jump out. And,
for a nickel an hour.
Right. So that's a little depressing, but I like Apple. I like the interface. I enjoy it. So I support Apple. But that doesn't mean that I think that they're infallible and that they just create, products that are, you know, perfect.
Bulletproof
They're definitely not. And I'll tell you why. So I've had my iPhone 6. I don't know. I've had about 2 years now. And I was at work the other day, and I decided to go to lunch. And I was out in my car, and I had my phone plugged in. And I wasn't doing anything too crazy on it. And, you know, it's sort of hotter here, but it's not all that hot. And so I had my phone plugged in, whatever. I'm just, whatever, fucking around online. And all of a sudden, my phone starts getting really goddamn hot. Like not even just normal hot. Like, it's like uncomfortably fucking hot. Like I touch the screen and I can actually, like, it's like I can feel my fucking hands start to sizzle like the fucking egg in the skillet. In the your brain on drugs commercial.
Hot.
And so anyway, so it's getting fucking hot, and I'm like, man. So I fucking unplug it. It's charging at this point too, and all of a sudden, like, the screen just starts to like dim, and it's like it's turning black, and I'm like, what the fuck? Damn. And then it just goes completely black, and I'm like, oh my god. And so as you know, as someone who, you know, knows a bit about tech, what's the first fucking thing you do? You turn it off and turn it back on again.
Yeah. So take the battery out.
So, well, it's an iPhone. You can't take the battery out easily. Shit. So you turn it off and you turn it back on again. So, so anyway, so I do a hard reset on this fucking pig, and like nothing fucking happens, right? Like I'm like, what is happening?
Huh.
And so, well, actually, I think I just did like a regular power off, and then I do the hard reset, which like basically fixes almost everything, and that also doesn't work. Wow. And so I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? And so I ended up having to go back from my lunch, going to work, and this is a particularly stressful day. So now my phone is fucking fried. I'm like, maybe if I bring it in, let it chill out, whatever, I can get it to work. And so I do that, and then it just still doesn't work, and it still doesn't work. And then I realize, I hate the cloud. I've seen way too many celebrities get their shit hacked, and not that I got a bunch of dick pics and shit on my phone, or anybody gives a fuck about Ray the Jerk from the Jerk of All Trades podcast fucking photos and stuff, but I just personally, it's not my thing. I don't like the cloud. I don't want to put my information in the hands of someone else. I want to put them in my own hands, and so I'm on the old school. I plug it in my fucking iTunes, and I back it up that way. And so anyway, I realized at this point, oh fuck, I use my phone for everything, and I have tons of photos and shit that I'm gonna lose, and I haven't plugged my phone into my computer in a long motherfucking time, and so shit. So I ended up going home, and first thing I do, come home, fucking plug my phone in, and I'm like, I gotta fucking try to back this up. Oh, I should also mention too, as I was coming home, I noticed that my phone is actually connecting to my Bluetooth in the car. I actually got a phone call at one point on it. Huh. I just can't see the fucking screen. It's just black as fucking night. So
wow.
So I get home and I plug it in, and I realize I've done a hard reset on it. And so now it wants my fucking passcode, which I can't fucking do because my screen is black. Yeah. And I literally can't fucking back my phone up, and I'm about to lose like 8 months worth of shit on my phone. And so I'm pretty unhappy about that. And so I'm like seeking everywhere online, trying to figure out an option. I found another program to back shit up, but it doesn't work if you have a passcode on. And I'm like starting to accept it. And I did one more search, and I found this like random forum where someone basically mentioned the backlight, and that the backlight can blow out, and that there's this method where you can basically turn the lights off, and then you can put LED flashlights on the screen, and then you can illuminate the screen enough so you can put your passcode in. So anyway, so I did that, and I was able to back my fucking phone up, and I was so fucking super happy. And so against my better judgment, I went to go get a new phone the next day, and because I'm a lazy fucking person and I don't want to learn a new interface, I decided I'm just going to get an iPhone 7. So I get an iPhone 7, and I'll tell you what, there are things I like about it, but I get it out of the fucking package, and I first realize, oh wait, I don't have a fucking, I don't have an input jack for an aux anymore for a headphone, and that's actually how I plug it into my car stereo. Ooh. And so I'm like, oh man, like what the fuck? So I'm like, well, I get these Bluetooth headphones with this thing, right? That's the reason why they got rid of the headphone jack.
Yeah.
Wrong. No.
What?
You actually still get regular headphones that you have to plug into an extra little like fucking 4-inch extra piece that's like lightning to aux.
Oh, fuck that shit.
So you got rid of the headphone jack. So people would use Bluetooth headphones, but then you don't even give them the fucking Bluetooth headphones. You still give them regular headphones with the fucking phone. Like, this thing costs $800. You couldn't give me fucking Bluetooth headphones?
Yeah,
like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Apple, that is whack as fuck.
And let's be honest here, man. Like, every generation of the iPhone, like, I got an iPhone 7, I had a 6. there are so few things that I can honestly even notice that are different. Like the camera's a little different. They have like a new photo thing that like basically like makes it look like, you know, live action for a second or whatever. But that's about it. So I'm kind of disappointed on that. And then don't even get me started on trying to set our fucking podcast up again on fucking iTunes and the bullshit that I had to deal with fucking iTunes and fucking iTunes Connect or Podcast Connect or whatever the fuck it was.
I was so disappointed in all that.
Our password had to change like 5 times because it was so fucking annoying, dude. Dude, I was ready to rip. I don't have hair on my head. I have a chrome dome. Yeah. I was ready to grow my hair out. So
that beard was coming off the face.
I was gonna rip my goddamn fucking beard off. So yeah, I was pretty disappointed by that. There has not been as much innovation from Apple as there used to be. They come out with these new iPhones. They come out with these new iPads, and honestly, they're sort of samey. And so, yeah. With that being said, Apple, I'm sorry. And I like some of the things you do, and I have a lot of your products, but you're getting the middle finger of the week. So
fuck you, Apple.
Right in your fucking core. So
why do you suck? Like, you're supposed to be the #1 company in the world, and you can't get the simple shit right. Like, come on now. It's either you're doing it on purpose, or this Tim Cook guy needs to be replaced.
Yeah, yeah. We might need to resurrect someone, don't you think?
I agree. But that's in the 3rd segment, I believe.
Okay. So yeah. Maybe we'll talk about that at that point. So all right, yeah, let's go to break and let's come back and
break.
Let's hit a new segment. Papa John's cocaine delivery. We got Walmart, we got malls going out of business.
Oh, stay tuned.
Lot more. So
getting good.
Yes. All right.
Guys, we are back. Jerk of All Trades podcast, episode number 12.
Number 12.
Glad you're here with us. And we're moving on in segment 2.
Hey, Eddie.
What's up, Ray?
Hey, I need my cocaine.
Oh, you do?
My cocaine! I'm Dr. Roxo, the Rock-a-Mo Clown, and I like cocaine!
Nice! Hopefully we don't get sued for that.
Hopefully not. I think that was less than 15 seconds.
Maybe. Okay.
We should probably check that, but...
Well, speaking of cocaine, I think Papa John's got her back with their cocaine delivery out there in Samish, Washington.
I don't think they're delivering. I think you have to go to them, which is pretty disappointing, but...
If I'm ordering a pizza from Papa John's, I'm getting my extra olives up in this bitch.
Yes. Eddie, tell them what's up. Tell them that story. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Samish, Washington. 2 employees were busted for selling cocaine. Customers that were waiting on their special quote-unquote toppings were in the parking lot after placing their order. Apparently, you had to order with your extra olives, drive down to the parking lot of Papa John's, and pick up that yayo like it was Friday the 13th or some shit.
Oh, my goodness. Fucking gracious.
That's fucking crazy, man. I mean, I've never heard anything like this before.
I think the only time I ever heard this was... when it was the plot of Breaking Bad and it was blue meth. So
you're talking about the chicken? The chicken?
Yes, Los Polos Hermanos.
Yeah, Pollos Hermanos.
Yes, Mr. Gus Fring.
Holy crap!
Yeah, this has definitely got that feel going on. Apparently, this shit went on for like years, and the officers were basically scoping this thing out for quite a long time, so they could get lots of extra olives.
Yeah,
and then they could eat their Papa John's.
They
pizza
really
later
took
on.
their time making this arrest. Yeah. I'll tell you right now.
We need more evidence, guys. So I think
we're not quite there yet. We haven't pinpointed it, but we're getting close.
Yeah. I think we need like at least like maybe like 20 more stakeouts.
Yeah, Operation Extra Olives.
That's what they called it.
6-month investigation. They made 5 arrests and seized over $28,000 in contraband. Good job by the police. Obviously cocaine is a dangerous product, and people should not be abusing cocaine.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do it, if you could go to Papa John's and order extra olives, and they come out and they give you a fucking Papa John's pizza box filled with cocaine bags, I mean, that sounds like a pretty fucking good deal, right? You know,
it's hard to find good cocaine these days. So if I can just get to Papa John's, get my fix, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Just one fix, just one more fix. So yeah, apparently the owners say, yeah, we actually didn't know anything about it. Police actually found cocaine residue around the cash register, and yeah, I mean, come on. Of course, the owners are like, yeah, we really didn't know.
That's so weird.
As the owners actually had not slept for 5 straight days.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually true, but I believe it's probably true. So
they had giant bags under their eyes darting back and forth.
Yeah. So
craziness.
This is pretty fucking funny. Yeah, if you're afraid to step in the local Papa John's and ask for extra olives to get your cocaine, you might have another option. So Eddie, let's talk about some of the new and innovative ways that Walmart is getting the most bang for their buck out of their workers. So
man, this
Eddie,
is crazy.
Tell them a little bit about it, and we'll chat.
Just my opinion. I think Walmart's in trouble. I think there's where there's smoke, there's fire. And there's not an apparent fire yet because Walmart's such a big company, but there's a little bit of smoke going on here, and I think the Titanic might be starting to sink a little bit. They already closed more than 270 stores last year and laid off thousands and thousands of employees. This is directly in response to online shopping and more
brick and mortar, man.
More prominently, Amazon. The Amazon. I don't know who owns Amazon. You know how like Steve Jobs was Apple.
Yeah.
Who's the Amazon guy? Whoever the Amazon guy is, good job because you're changing the game.
Yeah.
Walmart's starting to piss their pants. Walmart, they got the employees making deliveries for them on their way home and on their way to work. But before that, I wanted to touch on something which was something that Ray knows a little bit about.
I did work at Walmart many moon ago.
Don't they have a call-in sick policy?
Yeah, you know what? And I've worked in retail for a long time, and a lot of companies have that type of thing. You know, they basically give you, some sort of like a point system where you're able to call in if you have these hours, or and if you don't have, you accrue a certain amount of hours based on how many hours that you work. And if you don't have those, then you basically you get points, and eventually you get written up. And if you get and usually, I mean, it's usually a relatively lenient system depending on the company that you work for. But I think there are things within that where people have like medical emergencies and such that are going to supersede that. And I think that that's where you really need to step out of that program. And I know there's things like FMLA and that type of thing, but honestly, a lot of those programs are difficult to navigate. They're difficult to deal with, difficult to figure out, especially when you have a very, very intense medical situation going on. And now you have to deal with calling some like other fucking random company. And another thing that really should be said about this, and especially working in retail, I see this, is that all of these programs, while they're written by the corporate offices, they are basically they are made to happen in the store at a store level by the managers in the building. And being in retail for so long, I've seen a lot of incompetence in managers. And so you've got managers who don't really understand these programs and don't adhere to those to the letter of the law. And they don't know them well enough to be able to do that. Or, they forget to, hey, they said that they weren't going to mark someone off for something or whatever it might be. Or, maybe they just don't see, the person in that. It's just a number or whatever, number of different circumstances, but they don't the programs don't run like supposedly like they're supposed to, and then you have situations happening like this. So Eddie, I mean, tell them a little bit about some of the situations that are happening with some Walmart employees.
They're straight violating FMLA protection laws for punishing workers for taking sick days and time off to take care of their loved ones. Employees are afraid to call in sick at risk of getting terminated. They got their little point system. To me, this is unacceptable because, Walmart, their family are the Waltons. From the outside, it appears that they're a family business, but they're really not.
They haven't been for a long time.
They don't take care of their own. It appears they don't give a shit about it. This is as close to like the China Apple situation as you could get in America.
Absolutely.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Walmart has never been known for treating their employees well.
Yeah, there's so many bad stories from all these attendance policy shit from Walmart. And Walmart has so much money, and it's just like, come on, just why you got to hassle these people who aren't making that much money to begin with?
Minimum wage for a lot of them, and I mean that's not to say that everyone that works at Walmart is making minimum wage, but a lot of them are, and yeah, they don't have that safety net, and they don't have that, they don't feel secure. There's no job security in working in Walmart, and sadly, we've seen the job market erode to where you have so many people that are forced to, work in that to, basically make ends meet. And goddamn, when the robots come, they're going to be even more fucked, because robots don't call in.
Nope.
Unless, I fucking give them a robot uppercut, or Eddie does, and then they might have to call in. But
then you're fucked, robots.
Fucking robo call in. But, yeah.
He ain't gonna be calling anybody with his head laying on the ground somewhere.
Yeah. So but that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Walmart fired an employee for passing out at work. The next day they fired him. There's just so many bad stories. And then now, moving along, they have the delivery policy going on here.
This is fucking nuts, man. This is really this is like one of those not the onion type stories. So apparently Walmart is going to be coming up with a new delivery program, and this is their response to Amazon and Amazon's like super quick turnaround and their online deal. So Walmart's really been trying to put a lot of focus onto their online presence and, being able to more rapidly deliver things. And one of the ways that they're going to do that is that they're going to utilize their workforce of people that they haven't fired for being sick. And what they're going to do is they're going to compensate them in an undisclosed way. They haven't talked about it yet, but they're basically going to determine where that person works where that, where they live in conjunction to where they work, and what is the route that they take home. And then they're actually going to deliver Walmart items to customers' houses on their way home. So I thought this was just absolutely...
Who would have ever thought this? Who in a million years would have ever thought...
It is so absurd.
This would happen with Walmart.
It is such an absurd thing. I can't believe that, this is... I mean... In a way, it makes sense. It really does. I mean, that's like Walmart's basically the biggest employer in the entire fucking world. So why not utilize...
And they're giant cheapskates.
Right. And so, why, this is a way that they can utilize those people to improve their delivery service. So what I thought was so funny about this is that essentially the Walmart workers are the drones. Walmart workers are the drones. They are delivering your shit to your doorstep on their way home to their family, and their family's going to have to wait a little bit longer for that Papa John's pizza. So that's sad, but I guess it's cool that the workers are going to be able to make a little bit extra cash, and they don't have to do this. But I mean, I think if you're in a situation like that where you're probably not making that much money and there's this opportunity, it's like, do you jump at that? And even if we don't know what the compensation looks like, but it's Walmart, so chances are it's probably not all that good, but these people are probably going to deal with that. And one thing I actually just thought of as I was thinking of this now is, what are the legal implications of this when these people are off the clock and they're working off the clock?
Sure.
And what if something happens? What if they get in a car accident?
What if they're drinking and driving?
What if they, drop something off, at a customer's house and, they get killed or something like that? Well, what kind of implications does that have
Absolutely.
for Walmart? I think
That's a whole new can of worms.
There's a lot of unanswered questions about this, and I know that this is very early on, but this just basically blew my fucking mind. So
yeah, I respect the point system to an extent. I respect the fact that they're trying to do something new to bump that bottom line of theirs. But I'm not an expert in the stock market, but if I had stock in Walmart, I'm selling right now.
Yeah.
Selling it right now.
Probably not the worst idea.
So, that's where I stand on that.
So, yeah, so Walmart's trying to think outside the box. They're trying to become relevant in the times that we live in. And I'll tell you another business model that belongs in a box, and that's of the wooden variety, and that's 6 feet underground. Rest in peace. So, yeah, let's talk about malls in 2017. Let's fucking do it.
This is bad, man. This one hurts me a little bit because as a kid, I used to love going to the mall.
I loved the mall when I was a young cop.
Yeah, man, malls are going extinct. It's just there's no other way to say
it. This was a story that was not a shock to me at all. I was not surprised when Eddie first sent me the story. I mean, I wasn't surprised. The mall that is pretty close to me, it's actually across the street from my work, has just slowly becoming this barren wasteland.
Yeah, it's like a desert now.
They've actually had to close off a whole entire section of the mall. I watched a mall in the town that I live in basically just get torn down. I think it's just a really, really antiquated way of doing shopping now.
Sure.
Like, why would you go into this, why would you go into a mall and, walk around and look at all these different stores? And I mean, things are always, always overpriced there, and just hope to
that
find
was a great
something.
Point. That's such a great point.
Yeah. The pricing structure at the mall, you're not going to the mall to get a great deal. I don't think that was ever the appeal of the mall.
No.
And apparently they're saying between 20 and 25% of American malls will be closed within the next 5 years. So
that's a shitload of malls.
Yeah. And I can't say that I'll be all that disappointed in it.
I used to go to the arcade. I used to like going to the arcade at the mall.
Man, that's another thing that went away. And I'm
paying $135 for a pair of Jordans. Yeah, I kind of don't miss that, even though they're like $400 now.
So actually you're still fucked. So,
yeah, it's gotten worse actually now online. But Amazon is changing the game. First it was Walmart putting a hurting on the malls with the better prices. Yeah. But now Amazon's like, hey, we'll send it to you in 2 days for $100 a year.
Yeah, Amazon
at the cheapest price.
Amazon, and not just Amazon, I think just online shopping in general has just really, really put a hurt into the brick and mortar stores. You've seen so many businesses start to go under, close stores. You got Sears, you got Kmart, you got Macy's.
Yeah, we were just at Kmart last week, and it was...
Yeah, it was
death. It was just gone. There was just nothing there.
I still like to go into my local Kmart that somehow survived. I'm not really quite sure why. I think it's just because there used to be a Walmart that was very close to it, and now it's not there. And so people are basically left with only the option of going to Kmart. But their electronics department, they eliminated all of their video games. And one of my favorite things about this particular Kmart is that they have on the wall, they have where it basically says like music and entertainment or something like that. And the M is like the original like M from the MTV logo back in the day, and it's still chilling up there. It's been up there for probably like 30 years.
Yeah,
and it's like almost, it's like going into some sort of weird fucking time warp when you go into this place. Like it feels like you're in a simpler time where, when you wanted to buy shit, you just went to some weird fucking store that was just overpriced and had shitty checkout lanes, and instead I go on to Amazon or wherever the fuck else I want and I order the shit that I actually want and I get it shipped to me and I'm happier for it
at a great price, and it comes quick, and you didn't have to wait in line and walk around a bunch of fucking kids and teenagers
get sold on like every goddamn this frustrates me to know on the fucking program. So you go into Kmart and it's like, you're signed up for the fucking program and like this and that, and you got to answer a million questions on the fucking pin pad and donate to this and donate to that. I'm a fucking softie, and so most of the time I end up donating to them.
Oh, sure.
And then I get my...
Well, that's another nice thing about online shopping. You get what you want, and that's it. There's no like misdirection or, let me buy this. I might use this or that.
Yeah. And the funniest thing whenever I go to Kmart, I always laugh, and the cashiers always laugh as well, is how much Kmart must hate trees, because I'm signed up for their program, I get like literally probably 12 different like coupons in addition to my receipt that's like 85 feet long, and they have to like fold it like 75 times it's just ridiculous. I literally have like War and Peace but in receipt form on my fucking in my fucking pocket when I leave outside of Kmart. So I feel bad for their cashiers because they have to fucking like deal with all these receipts and coupons and shit.
Well, that's gotta be the easiest job in the world now. They're just standing around not doing shit.
Yeah, but there's like usually they're probably still understaffed because they still only have like one person there.
Dude, that was crazy. Well, just to give you the numbers behind it, like Ray said earlier, between 20 and 25% of American malls are closing within 5 years. 17% of retail sales are online currently and growing. So it's at 17% and only going up. I wouldn't be surprised if that number is actually higher right now. And 8,600 stores are closing this year, and that is more than the 6,200 stores that closed down in 2008 during the Great Recession. Thank you very much, George W. Bush. Well, if
we do not thank George W. Bush.
Come on!
Even if we're doing it as a slight against him, we're not thanking George W. Bush on the show.
I'll give you Obama. I ain't giving you Bush.
You know what? I don't want you to give me Bush. There's if there was a list of people I wanted to give me Bush, it definitely wouldn't be Eddie the Jerk on the list. No offense.
I might be able to get you some good Bush.
So I don't know. Okay.
Well, if malls are on their way out, I know another thing that ain't too far behind it. Ray, let's chat about the goddamn cable and satellite companies slowly going into the darkness.
Yes. This is one that really plays with my heartstrings.
This is similar to the mall story.
Yes. So talk about another thing that is just like holding on for dear life. Something that is just so over. Like, God damn it, cable. You give me fucking 12,000 channels. And I say this, I'll tell you what. I am the original hipster, despite what Eddie claims.
I'm original.
One of the cliff notes is
I'm hip.
Eddie cut his cable in 2009, and he's a trendsetter, and the rest of Americans followed suit. And I actually had to when I dealt with the notes, I actually put in brackets. I've actually been a cable cutter for far longer than that.
Those are parentheses.
Yeah, sorry, that's parentheses. You know what? They can't fucking see it. God damn it! Don't fucking do that.
I'm holding you to it. No, Ray copied me. He heard about me doing it in 2009. Now he's taking all the credit.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. So give him the numbers, Ray.
So basically there is around 762,000 Americans that have canceled their cable and satellite subscriptions in the first 3 months of 2017. That's more than any other year ever. Over 6.5 million people have cut the cord since 2013.
That's a lot of money.
And I cut the cord far before that, and then Eddie cut it a little bit after me when he followed me. But
6.5 million times $50 a month. That's a shitload of money, man.
$50. Where are you getting your fucking
I don't
cable?
know. It's been a while.
Cable, I'll tell you what, I have internet, so I know, and they try to sell. I must get advertising from the fucking cable company, I would say at least like once every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I actually get extra mail deliveries just to give me fucking cable subscription
things.
The
advertisement bullshit.
It is ridiculous, but it's fucking not $50.
Yeah.
It's like
$100.
It's like $160, $170.
Where you're looking at $650 million, $650 million since 2013.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking money, and it makes sense. Actually, today I was at a friend's house and helping them set up for some shit, and the cable guy actually came around. He just like casually walked to the backyard, like, hey, and then like he started talking about like whatever, we're this cable company and we've got this program and this and that, and like, oh hey, if you sign up now, you get a free, we're gonna hook it up for free, and like, no, I'm good. And like, and he's like, well, I can at least put your name in the database, and like, no, I think I'm still, and like he just kept going. Wow. And going. I'm not even kidding you. It was like 5 solid minutes of this guy just like, are you sure? Like, no, we're good. And then like he tried to turn around and walk away, like, I can just put your name in the database, and then that just like at least locks you into the free this. Like, dude, no, go away. I get it, dude. Like, I get that you're like you're fucking commission and this is your job. And
stop trying to Kathy Griffin me into laughing at a shitty joke. It's not gonna happen.
I'm not gonna fucking do it. And
get away from my house.
I'll tell you what. Here's the thing too that I will tell people is that you have the fucking bargaining power with these companies. Like, realize this. You do not have to give into their shitty fucking bundles and shit. Like, literally, this is what I do. So I have only internet through the cable company because I really don't have a better choice. And so here's what happens. I call that, like, I have internet, whatever it is, and I get a fucking deal on it. Because I'm fucking special and shit. No, not really. But anyway, I get a deal on it.
You're so special.
But then you get it for like 12 months or whatever. And then they fucking raise your bill. And so I will call them and I'll basically be like, you know what? I don't want your service anymore. Like, the shit went up. Either you lower my bill or I'm going to go somewhere else. And they're like, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to cancel my thing. And then they're like, let me put you on hold. And they put you on hold. And then they like go talk to like no one. Then they come back and they're like, oh, hey, I can give you this deal or whatever. And like, they'll give you like a better deal and they'll give you like a faster service and they'll like set it up for a certain amount of time. And they'll be like, oh, it only lasts for this amount of time. And then when it's going to end again, you do the same thing, rinse, repeat. That's how you get a better service from them because you have the fucking power with them right now because you have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Amazon Prime.
Fuck yeah.
You have...
I was just about to say, all these companies, Walmart, cable companies, they made all their trillions of dollars, billions and billions and trillions of dollars. They got complacent and they didn't see the wave coming. And now they're drowning under the fucking giant mass of Netflix, Amazon, fucking Hulu, Amazon Prime, like you were saying. They're getting fucking drowned right now.
People want their entertainment and they want like the era of just me flipping through the channels and hoping I find something good that I want to watch that didn't already start. That's over. I can watch anything that I want ever. My friend can allegedly download anything that he's ever wanted ever, including new shit that just came out like 15 minutes after it aired in high definition. Like, I don't have to spend my time watching bullshit entertainment. I can watch the things that I want when I want to watch it, or my friend can do that allegedly.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, that's me.
It's crazy.
Or my friend being savvy. But even if you're not savvy, you have Netflix. You can watch shit. You know, you watch a new show comes out, you watch the whole thing right away. Like
the whole season. You can watch the whole season
Why
right
are
away.
people dealing with cable and satellite companies? They're not. And until the cable company and satellite companies up their game and give people what they want, here's the deal.
I think it's too late.
A la carte is the way that they have to do it, and they're never going to do it because there's too many licensing agreements and there's too many dicks swinging with all these different cable companies because they want to be a part of the pie. They want to be in everyone's home. So
you know who wants to do that? I read about this probably about 6 months ago. Google. Google wants to give you, they'll let you pay for what you watch.
Yeah.
So you just pay like $1 for a TV show that you want to watch. So if you only watch 2 TV shows a month, you're only paying like $8 a month.
Or you could pay $0.
Yeah.
I would just mention that.
www.piratenotrae.com.
Yes. The Pirate Ray. The piraterae.org.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. But yeah, I'm more savvy
yeah,
than that,
it's so crazy because I remember when I was a kid, like I'd come home from playing basketball or just from being outside, whatever. And it's like, oh, damn, I missed my favorite show, whatever it was, whether it be like, you know, Martin or Fresh Prince or the Bulls game or whatever. But like you said, now it's like, oh, damn, I missed my favorite show. Let me just go ahead and download that bitch right here.
Yeah.
And in about 15 minutes with my high-speed internet, I have everything I want, like right away.
I get everything I want. I get everything I need.
We're kind of spoiled now in this era here.
Yeah, we are a little bit spoiled, and I'll tell you what, we also spoil our fans, and we do that on social media. So
hell yeah,
let's head in with social media, man. Give them the social media plugs, and then we'll go to break.
You guys know what time it is. Follow, like, rate, comment, subscribe. Hit us on that iTunes. Give us that review on iTunes. We love you guys. Stitcher, give us that rating on Stitcher and subscribe on there too. JOATpodcast.com. Anything and everything you could ever want and need from the Jerk of All Trades podcast. We are there for you. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Jerk of All Trades podcast. Just search for us. We're there. And if you want to email us any questions, comments, or things that you want to talk about, jerkofalltradespodcast@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you guys.
Hell yeah. We reply quickly, so don't be shy.
Yes. All right, we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back. And final subjects, we got Chatbot, we got Awakening the Dead, we got this week's call-out, so we're going to come back, and we're going to hit those subjects, and
stick with us.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're back again. Jerk of All Trades podcast.
Final segment.
Thanks for sticking with us. You know, we've had a long history with the robots. We've had the Terminator robots.
Torrid affair.
We've had blowjob robots. And this crazy world, man, is just driving me fucking mad. Sometimes I need a little bit of therapy. But not just any therapy.
Nope.
I need some robot therapy.
Goddamn robot therapy.
God damn it. We're back with the robots.
Give me the Wobot, man.
We got ourselves a fucking chat box robot therapist. His name is the Wobot, not to be confused with the Lobot.
Yes, he is not the Lobot. He is not a shitty fucking iPad that's driving around your local Lowe's store trying to show you where pain is. Instead, you're talking to him about your fucking woes and about how depressed you are, and he's basically just listening and just reinforcing things.
It's so crazy, yeah. It's basically a Facebook Messenger talk therapy robot, which is the equivalent to text messaging a human therapist. It was created by a team of Stanford psychologists and AI experts. You know, Stanford's doing the damn thing.
Stanford.
It uses brief daily chat conversations and mood tracking, curated videos, and word games to help people manage mental health. Word games to manage mental. What kind of word games would?
So actually, I don't know if you were going for a joke there, but that's
No.
basically it's basically CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. So it's basically like it's like they're giving these like trigger words and such, and like you almost are like working the things out for yourself, and that's what this thing is doing. Like it's not like personally giving you advice, but it's just asking these like generalized questions and kind of like you're basically like how much you want to heal and how much you want to get over whatever bullshit that you have going on. Like this therapy and this fucking Wobot is basically allowing you to do that because it's going to give you those words and things that allow you to be able to start talking about those things and like working through all of your own shit and your own depression. Because and that's a big thing, it's in your mind, it's in your, your subconscious or even your conscious mind and developing, those depressions, those anxieties and that type of stuff. And the more that you talk about it and you put it out there in the world, even if you're talking to a goddamn robot therapist, that's helping you to get over it.
Well,
so that's
yeah,
kind of,
they were saying that, people in the therapy with the robot here were more likely to open up and reveal deeper and darker secrets.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Than to a human therapist.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, as someone who's had some issues and stuff in my life, and I've spent some time in therapy, especially when I was younger, and I was very resistant, and I'm a very cynical person, and so it's hard not to think of, man, this person doesn't really give a fuck about me. They're just judging me. This is their job. They're just getting paid for this, and so you kind of. That makes you hold back and you don't really, delve into those things like you could. And so people almost feel more comfortable with robots. And it really makes sense because people have really started to click with AI and, you look at people who are able to, talk to people online. We talked about that, and people that, play online video games and they're able to be a completely different person when they do that because, they have the solitude of that person doesn't actually see them. And I think that this is a similar concept. And I think it's really interesting. And I think that this could go cool places. And if it helps people, I think that it's definitely a good thing. But
for sure.
It's still it's still kind of weird and murky at this point. So
yeah, well, it says here that in 2014, DARPA, dude, started a study with a virtual therapist named Ellie. Hello, Ellie. How are you doing today?
Hello, Ellie. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
What mood are you in today, Ellie?
DARPA, you can download shit in your brain.
What's your energy like today, Ellie?
It's a change in the game, man. It's so crazy. I don't know how I feel about this as talking to a robot personally. It makes sense that I could talk to the robot and not have any type of conflict talking to the robot about any secrets because it's a fucking robot. It's not an actual person.
Right, but would you be, this is actually something that I'll say as well, is like privacy concerns. So, what if the information that you're putting into Wobot, I mean, obviously it exists somewhere.
Sure.
It exists on the cloud, and we talked about Ray's issues with the cloud. I don't even want to put my fucking pictures and music and shit on the fucking cloud. So the last thing I want to do is like put my deepest, darkest fucking secrets and like all my fucking problems and my baggage and shit on the Wobot. And then all of a sudden, like somebody hacks Wobot.
That is so crazy.
The goddamn European hackers hack Wobot and they fucking steal all of Ray the Jerk's like deepest, darkest fucking fears and secrets and shit, and they put them online. So that's definitely another thing of this is you feel more comfortable with it because it's a robot, but at the same time, like maybe it might still get out there, right?
It's a little weird because when you only have text as far as speaking and communication, there's a lot of things that can be taken out of text,
taken out of context.
Yeah, context. Thank you, for lack of a better term. So like when you speak, you can hear the words and understand the inflection of the voice and stuff like that. But when it's just on a messenger app,
so true, man,
it doesn't come across as well.
I've been a texter for a long time, and I'm sure many other people have. I'm not trying to be a hipster with my fucking texting game, but I mean, how many issues have you come up in your life? And I know I've had many where someone didn't understand something that you were saying in text, or maybe you didn't understand something that they were saying in text, and then there was some sort of fucking big blow up, and like the whole time, like then you actually like physically talk to this person about it, and it's like, Dude, that was never my intention. That was like totally not what I was trying to say in that.
And like spelling errors. Like, what if the Wobot asks you a question?
If you put it on all caps, all caps, is Wobot angry at me?
I got to use my exclamation points.
Exclamation point, exclamation point.
So if Wobot asks me a question and I'm thinking I'm going to respond with yes, I will, but I accidentally type yes, I kill, am I going to jail for that shit or what?
Eddie the Jerk is going to jail.
Yes, I kill. Oh, no, I meant to say yes, I will.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's some sort of like, you know, shit built into it, but I'm sure there's trigger words that like if they're seeing those things, you know, it's not equipped to deal with.
Goddamn Apple with their shitty iPhones voice to text. I'm too lazy to actually text it out, so I do the speech to text.
You don't have an Apple, so you can't comment on that. And
I have an iPad.
All speech to text is actually is kind of shitty. But I'll tell you what, on my iPhone, it's actually been better. I've used it a couple times in the past couple days since I got my new phone, and it's actually been a bit better than it was before. So I mean, it still kind of sucks, but
yeah. Well, if you ever run into those problems, the Wobot is not equipped to deal with real mental health crises. When it comes to when it senses someone in trouble, it suggests that they seek help in the real world and provides text and hotline resources. So basically,
you're calling the fucking Saved by the Bell crew to fucking deal with your fucking mental health.
If this Wobot can't deal with your shit, if your shit's too heavy for a fucking robot to handle, you can't cheap out for your fucking $39 a month, which is what this thing costs.
$39
you have to pay up for an actual fucking therapist if your shit is too deep.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. The students who use Wobots...
I will talk to you about your problems for way less than $39 a month, and I will tell you that, and this is actually on a serious tip, for some reason I just have this energy that I give off that people want to talk to me about their problems, and honestly, I actually... sort of in a weird way enjoy listening to and helping people through their problems. And so maybe I missed my calling and I'm not charging $39 a month. I will charge far less than that. So
$38 a month.
If you want to email the Jerk of All Trades podcast at gmail.com and talk to me like I'm a goddamn Wobot and tell me all of your issues, I promise I won't talk about them on the podcast and I will help you through them. Seriously, though, I would, but
yeah. Well, and the Wobots
don't come to the Jerk of All Trades podcast for your fucking.
And if Eddie gets that email, you're fucked.
Yeah. We both have access to that, so yeah, don't.
But in the Wobot's defense, people who have used it have reported a significant reduction in their symptoms of depression and anxiety. But the Wobot still should not be used as a replacement for getting professional help. For now, at least, until they tweak this bad boy and fucking Google gets a hold of it, and all of a sudden it fucking cleans your house, mows your lawn, fucking does your therapy, and fucking wipes your ass for you. The fucking everything.
And how much does that package cost?
I think that might be $139 a month.
I think I could deal with that.
Yeah, I can handle that.
I'm not paying the cable companies $140 a month, but I might pay the Wobot.
Ah, yeah, man.
How much for the blowjob package?
Yeah, the blowjob package, and maybe
that's the real therapy, isn't it?
Maybe I can use it for a punching bag too. That'd be nice.
Put my member in your mouth, and all my issues subside for just 30 seconds.
You got your blowjob robot that gives you therapy, cleans your house, fucking goes shopping for you, self-driving car.
It doesn't have to go shopping for you. You just shop on Amazon. You're not.
Oh, that's right.
You're not sending it to the goddamn local Walmart. And if you are, then they're just delivering it to you with their fucking
with their shitty employees.
Fucking employees. So.
We don't think you're shitty employees, but if you're working at Walmart, it might be time to find a new job.
Do you talk to Wobot about where you get your cocaine? Cocaine. I went to the local Papa John's and I ordered extra olives and they gave me. I don't think we talked about that, and I actually wanted to mention that. So
what's that?
What if someone had actually ordered extra olives on their fucking pizza and they didn't? What if that was how they finally busted them? Is that someone actually I don't like olives. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do like them,
but you never know,
and they're absolute monsters. But what if someone actually ordered extra olives and then they just got a fucking
this is not what I ordered. What the fuck?
But I'll take it.
And of course, the jabroni that orders extra olives fucking reports to the police that they got some cocaine on the side.
We fucking know your game, extra olives guy. If you like extra olives, you are a fucking sellout, dude.
Fucking ratting everybody out. What the fuck,
everybody
man?
else's good time.
It was such a good time.
I can get my fucking cocaine from fucking Papa John's, and you got to ruin it for everybody. Guy that probably doesn't exist. We don't know. We just made this shit up.
Your extra olives.
Fuck it.
If you're ordering extra olives, you're a fucking goody two shoes ratting everybody out.
Goody two shoes. Fuck you.
Craziness, man. Well, hopefully talking to that robot doesn't leave me flatline and brain dead. But if it does, there may be a new app for that. Ray, you want to hit him with this waking up from the dead resurrection?
Oh my goodness fucking gracious, man. So this was another story. When I read it, I'm like, this can't be real.
This is super crazy.
And oh no, it's actually quite real. So let's talk about fucking possible zombies, reanimated corpses coming into the world. I've said it before. I'm a humongous fucking horror fan, and there is so much meat on the fucking human bones here. So let's talk about reawakening the dead. So yeah, we've got a U.S. firm. It's called BioQuark, and they plan to test stem cell theory on brain dead patients. They're based out of Philadelphia. They announced this shit in late 2016, and basically they think that brain death is not irreversible. Wow. And so they want to change that.
So crazy.
They want to bring people that have died back from the dead, and man, there are so many implications to that. What the fuck happens?
I wonder if they can bring Kathy Griffin's career back from the dead. Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not. Probably not.
Sorry, Kathy Griffin, you're getting it for a while, girl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's about all she's getting for a while. So
yeah.
Have you seen her face lately? I believe we speculated how many dollar store facelifts she's had, and it's quite a few. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it hasn't even been tested on animals. They're going to test it in Latin America. The steps of this thing are pretty fucking crazy. So number one is they are going to harvest the stem cells from the patient's blood, and then they're going to inject it back into their bodies. Number two, they're going to receive peptides into the spinal cord. And then number three is they're going to undergo a 15-day course of nerve stimulation involving lasers. And seriously, you cannot fucking make this shit up. They're literally using lasers, and I believe they're coming out of sharks' eyeballs. I don't know if that's true, but I would like to believe it's true. They're using lasers, and they're going to try to bring about the reversal of brain death. According to Pastor, one of the guys behind this company, they developed a series of injections that can reboot the brain, and they plan to try it out on humans this fucking year, dude. This is happening this year.
This is so surreal.
This is not something that's like happening like in 20 years or 30 years. This shit is literally going to be happening like fucking now, dude.
Before Christmas.
Before now. And so, dude, I'm a huge horror fan. God damn it. This is like literally the fucking plot of Reanimator. Like fucking Herbert West. Like he...
Is this a David Lynch movie?
No, no. It's actually directed by Stuart Gordon. It's fucking awesome movie. It's from I think 1985, I believe. And basically it's based on oh man, I'm gonna brain fart here. H.P. Lovecraft. It's based on a book of his, and he basically has this like serum that he creates, and he uses it to, you know, bring them back to life. It's this like green glowing serum, and it doesn't actually go that well. He actually does test it on an animal. He tested it on the cat, but so and even crazier than that, this shit is literally called Reanima.
Oh, nice!
It's literally called Reanimator almost. So
Jesus, well, they must be a big fan of the movie then.
It's certainly possible.
It could be possible. I mean, how else would this idea come about?
And on that horror thing too, like, so another one of my favorite directors, his name is Lucio Fulci. He's an Italian director from the 1960s, 70s, and he really became famous for a movie called Zombie, which was actually named Zombie 2 when it came over to the United States, because they tried to make it seem like it was a sequel to George Romero's Night of the Living Dead. Or actually, no, sorry. I think they try to make it seem like it was a Dawn of the Dead sequel. But anyway, yeah, it takes place in Latin America, and it's badass. It's got badass special effects with zombies and shit. And same type of plot going on in that. And obviously, zombies are fucking the bee's knees these days. So sure. All I will say is that I really hope that this whole situation ends up a lot better than what The Walking Dead show has been like pretty much since like season 1. And if it ends up any better than that, then we might be okay. So
yeah, never seen it.
All my horror jokes aside, yeah, this shit's fucking crazy. Like, we're gonna be trying to reanimate the dead. Like,
I'm wondering how much this is gonna cost. What is the what is the safety level of this? I mean, it's only stem cells being shot into you, injected into your body, so it can't be that, it's not like they're cracking open your skull and reviving your brain that way. Yeah, this is super alive. Yeah, it's super interesting. Alive. Am I gonna be walking around like Frankenstein with staples in my head?
Yeah, I mean, how do you sign up for this program? I mean, that's fucking crazy. Does your family sign you up for it? And like, if they are able to bring these people back, like, I mean, we can speculate about whether or not we have a soul, but I mean, do they have a soul? Are they aware? Do they have a consciousness? I mean, there's so many fucking questions to this thing.
Sure. And it's coming about soon. Like you said, by the end of the year, they're going to be running this shit out. So
yeah, it's fucking
definitely going to monitor this one.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So, yeah, once I wake up from the dead, I'm really hoping that I have all my internal organs intact.
I hope so.
Because, yeah, let's fucking talk about the fucking chimera. Let's talk about the goddamn chimera, because this shit is fucking...
Is this the man-bear-pig?
I believe
Or no, the... damn it, I fucked up. What is it called, Ray?
It's actually not a man-bear-pig. It's actually just a man-pig.
Oh, it's a man... Oh,
so
damn it.
They need to combine this shit with a bear, and then they will have the fucking man-bear-pig. So, yeah, the fucking Salk Institute, basically, they're aiming to develop a chimera that is made of both human and pig stem cells. So, chimera, in case you didn't know, it's a multi-headed fire-breathing monster from Greek mythology. So this is definitely not that, and I would actually like to see that. I really feel like we're like in the middle of like an actually pretty badass like horror action movie, or maybe in the beginning stages of like a really awesome video game or something, because we've got fucking man-pig chimera things being created. We've got them raising the fucking dead. We've got Walmart sending their delivery drone workers.
Papa John's and that cocaine.
Like, this would be the most badass fucking video game ever, and instead this is just the real life that we're living in. So
it is so strange.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy. So they're developing fully grown three-dimensional tissues and organs from stem cells. They're going to be growing human cells in pigs, and apparently, yeah, that's the most similar to humans.
Yeah.
And the big challenge for them is to improve the efficiency and to guide human cells into forming the particular organs in pigs. They're using something called CRISPR. Eddie, why don't you tell them a little bit about CRISPR?
Man, CRISPR's changing the game. They're changing your DNA. They're going to, well, this is just something they're
speculative at this point,
with right now, but they're using it with these goddamn pigs. And, well, the pigs, they have similar organs and tissues that humans do. So they're figuring that if it works on these pigs, it will probably work human to human too, work on humans. So, CRISPR, they're talking about...
changing every aspect of the human being from the beginning, right?
Yeah, creating humans, like a model. Like, say you got this girlfriend and you want a supermodel baby, or, not a supermodel baby, but a baby that turns into a supermodel, that grows into a supermodel.
I mean, if you're
I don't think there is even a thing as a supermodel baby.
If I had to choose, I mean, I believe that's
like an oxymoron.
Is that like a pageant child?
Oh, like
that John Benet Ramsey?
Something like that.
Is that too early to make John Benet Ramsey jokes? I think that's been like 20 years now.
I think you're good.
Yeah, I think we're okay on that.
But CRISPR, man, they can change your eye color from your DNA. They can change your height, your hair color.
Literally anything.
I don't know if it's purely cosmetic. Like, I don't know if I can get a rocket scientist kid to pop out,
that'd be pretty fucking cool.
Girl. But CRISPR is basically making it so that I don't have to procreate with Ronda Rousey to have my...
your Ronda Rousey baby?
My Ronda Rousey baby. So that's pretty cool. I don't have to, stalk and hunt down Ronda Rousey anymore. I can just get my CRISPR Ronda Rousey baby instead.
But you have to wait for her to grow up before you can Woody Allen her.
But hey, man, she might end up being better than Ronda Rousey now with CRISPR. So who knows?
I mean, by the point that
I want her to be 150 and God damn it, I want arm bars in fucking 5 seconds or less.
What was that, your Chris Jericho? Number 1,462.
Oh yeah,
arm bar.
All arm bars for this chick.
All arm bars all the time.
So yeah, man, CRISPR's changing the game.
Maybe. I will say that we looked into CRISPR a lot. I watched a whole what basically equated to a fucking a Ronco fucking commercial for CRISPR, in which they talked about all the things that CRISPR actually could do but didn't do yet. So I think it's a pretty cool concept, and if we can change things about people before they're even created, I think that's pretty crazy. But they're
wondering about the ethics of it all.
Yeah,
like, do you agree? Like, they should be able to? Like, do you think they should pay for it, or do you think they shouldn't do it at all?
No, I'm not one to hold back science like that. I think that science should continue to move forward. And I think if people have enough money and they want to create a fucking they want their baby to be half pig and half human, I think that they should be able to do it, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean,
well, that's not the only thing about CRISPR.
I think there's already a half pig and a half human, and I believe it's named Rosie O'Donnell. So,
oh god,
that was not the most topical.
We love you, Rosie O'Donnell.
That was the best I could do.
Oh man,
that was the best I could do. I'm sorry, I was on the spot with that. That was not a pre-written joke, but I said, "Fuck it, I'm going for it."
Well, they're saying this study can help scientists understand how human stem cells grow and specialize, also giving insights to early human development and disease onset. The early human development we just talked about, but if CRISPR can cure cancer and cure AIDS and cure all these diseases that humans, fall
not being with. Partially made of bacon. I feel like this is a bad call because I feel like cannibalism is going to increase exponentially because people really like bacon. So if there's half human, half pigs walking around, people might be murdering them and then cutting off their back fat and fucking grilling it and putting it on a burger.
Be pig organs. I don't know if they could be able to tell that you have pig organs.
This is not as cool. Then I thought that they would actually have pig features, like snouts and little tails and shit. Oh,
I'm an organ donor, so you're good.
Man, just rolling around the mud and
just
shit.
Take a kidney or two out of me.
You know what? I was out on a bike ride today and I got burned pretty fucking crispy and not like a piece of bacon. And if there was some mud around, I might have rolled around in that shit. So.
Yeah, if you see Ray, give him a big pat on the back.
Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Please don't do it.
But yeah, man, CRISPR. If this is the potential cure for cancer, this is amazing. This is the craziest thing ever.
It could change the fucking game. Man, it could change the game.
And just like CRISPR, the Jerk of All Trades podcast is changing the game each and every week. So you know what that means. Ray, it's time for that universal call out, man.
Let's hit the universal
Let's hit that
call.
randomizer. You got 6 up?
Let's bring it up to 6. And we said earlier that last week we thought it was a little too easy. We threw out potatoes. We got some awesome potato stories. So this week we're gonna pick 6, and then we're gonna pick the worst out of all of these things. So Eddie,
the worst.
Think of what the worst of these things is.
I'm gonna concentrate really hard,
and then we'll decide on that, and then we'll fucking do it. So yeah, maybe we'll take like a 5 second to close our eyes and think about those things, and then we'll discuss. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to read it. Then we'll close our eyes, think for 5 seconds, and then we'll decide amongst ourselves. So, okay.
Cool.
All right. So, and left click, refresh. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Socialism, stadiums, accordions, spas,
I think I already have mine.
Billiards and cats.
Accordions.
Okay. Wait, no, you have to give 5 seconds. Okay. 5 seconds. Okay, 5 seconds is elapsed. Not really, but
the worst one is accordions.
Accordions. For sure. I agree. 100%. 100%. It's fucking
the other
accordions.
Ones are too easy. Stadiums too easy.
Socialism way too easy. Way too easy.
Cats and billboards.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
No, billiards.
Oh, billiards. What was the other one I missed?
Spas.
Yeah, screw
billiards and cats.
Accordions.
Stephen
Q. Urkel. Bring back that accordion. Family Matters was a great show.
There could be some fucking Scotland shit coming out. You never fucking know.
Yeah, man. If the universe supplies us with heavy accordion stories, Jerk of All Trades podcast is your number one podcast
set in the fucking game.
In the fucking world, because there ain't no other podcast giving you accordion stories on the fly like us.
Not a single one.
Giving it to you.
We run this game. We run this fucking. We run this universe. And let's see what the fuck happens. Next week, we're going to come back. We'll have a bunch of other fucking great topics. And we will definitely have a fucking awesome accordion story for you. So, yeah.
Hope you had a good time. Stick with us. And episode 13.
It's time to go to work.
No, wait. What are you doing? Come on, man.
Fuck. Oh,
that's my line.
All right.
That's funny.
All right. So, Jerk of All Trades podcast. We are out, guys.
Love you guys.